Hi, everybody, and welcome. We are down in the witch's den, and this is a special day because I got permission from the Hermit's Cave to do a tea leaf fortune card reading for him. It'll be for the month ahead. He wanted just a general reading, but I gotta say, just prepping for this was so exciting and so much fun. The cloth that you see here, this is actually a kimono. And you can see that the hermit is sitting in the collar of the kimono. It is, it's got circles, and all of a sudden the colors all came together. And because the tea leaf fortune cards are circular, I'm hoping that it really does a great job to show the cards off. We're going to be using Ray Hepburn's tea leaf fortune cards, and I have so much fun with them. I'm just changing it up a little bit today because we're doing a different layout. And it just screamed that it wanted a different layout, so that's what we're doing. We're going to bring in 11 cards, and we're going to also use the crystal ball, and we're going to be dropping some charms on that as well. So I tried to bring in elements to connect myself with what little bit I know about Simon, and I hope that it is just fun for everyone. So, Simon, I did prepare the cards. I did invite your ancestors in, your guides, your guardians, mine as well. And I think we're just going to jump in and shuffle these cards and lay them out in the spread that I want to try. So we're going to open these up, and I will adjust the camera when we get going, but you can see all the cards are in there. And we're just going to tip this down now so that you can see a bit more, and we'll get going here. So I'm just tossing it around for information for Simon for the next 30 days, we'll say, but everybody moves at their own pace. So we'll just lift some out, shuffle them around. Okay, I'm going to grab this hunk right here. And maybe a few more from down here. Okay, so I'm going to take that and set that aside. And just going to go through the cards a little bit one more time, that this is a reading for Simon from the Hermit's Cave, and we're looking for positive information to move him forward on his path, whatever that may be. And I think I'm actually going to do it a little different there and go like that. Okay, so I'm going to lay the cards out, adjust the camera, and we'll work our way up because this is the Tree of Life spread. So clear myself some room, and there is, I'll show you the little design I did. It's nothing fancy, but it gives you an idea. That's the cards we're going to be laying out. Okay, so the first bottom row is coming out. Now, this is going to have to be a little bit lower, but you can see I've drawn 3. And as I say, I'll adjust again the camera. Now that is for grounding. This is the root of the tree right here. So everything in here is words to offer security, confidence, and there'll be things hopefully of value that we can collect from the cards right there. Then we're going to add 3 this way. And that is going to be for growth. You think of the roots of the tree, and then we're growing up. And I'm hoping that there's information in there about drives, ambitions, things that will stimulate us in order to grow. And then we're going to do a little bit more at the top here. this is the crown of the tree. So we're going to go boink. And there we have the cards. And I'll put the extras to the side in case we decide to play with those. Now, let's come down again to the root of the matter. Okay, everybody's going to stay there for me. All right, so Simon, this reading is for you and for the month ahead. Okay. Now this one talks about dealings or relationship with a woman. So this could be in the next month, many things. We're not going to know until we turn over a few more cards. But it is a woman. There are dealings, and it could be conversations. It could be business ideas. It could be meetings. But let's see where that goes. Now this one is turned a little bit. The Weeping Willow and Family Sorrow. Okay, now I am aware that Simon did lose his mother in the last bit. And this is really pointing towards a family connection. I think it is a motherly connection. And I don't know the ins and outs of the whole relationship, but I know that there was a lot of love there. Now, this one is talking about maybe there's some things that you need to deal with because it is the lower level of the tree. There's things that maybe we need to get into, finding that safe zone, finding that secure spot where we can really do maybe even some shadow work around working with our feelings, our thoughts, the losses, but then putting it in a positive manner and working with this woman, working with your mother, or if it's not the mother, it is definitely sorrow connected to a woman. But I got the feeling that, Simon, it's your mother. And she wants to come through. We did invite her. And it's just sort of revisiting that relationship. And being a spiritual person, I know that probably you think that the energy still carries on. And there is still opportunities to work with our ancestors. I hope that's helping. I'm hoping that makes sense. The willow tree does have that sort of cascading effect of all the limbs coming down. But it is a peaceful spot to return to. Sitting under a willow tree can bring some peace, some security, and maybe working through some thoughts, connecting with the mother again. That's interesting. Okay, and this is the horseshoe. And they all seem to be facing towards this woman. This is about luck. The horseshoe says good luck. So it's good luck working through some sorrowful feelings, thoughts that sit at the base of who you are right now, and finding the confidence to revisit some of those feelings, those thoughts, and find a place of security, sitting under the willow tree in order to find that peace, that calm, because I always think of the willow tree by the water and how peaceful it is to just sit and reflect. And willows do love water. So I think that the root of the matter right now is finding a safe place that you can access that information and those feelings. And it is of value to do it. And it says it would bring good fortune and good luck. And we'll maybe come back to that, but we're going to move on from that. So the growth. Maybe your mother was very, trying to find the words, influential in giving you that safety area, that sense of security, that she rooted you, that she was a big part of what family means to you. Because when I think of the tree, I think of the family tree, the longevity, the roots that we put down, and the influence that our ancestors can have on us. All right, so this one here is a handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. Now, when I think of the handshake, I also think of friendliness, but also if there are dealings with a woman in the next month, other than this issue here, that I think you can be quite confident. If you shake on something, it's like a done deal. It's that connecting between two. So there's growth for you in the next 30 days. And all it needs is just that agreement between two people in order to move forward. But it is here above the weeping willow. So I have to bring that in too. So even though you have a meeting that could be important, there may be some things connected to this meeting that leave you a little bit less than happy, because it does say sorrow, family sorrow. So this is interesting. You might meet someone connected to the family, and you maybe have been estranged from them, or all of a sudden they turn up. And it is an important meeting, but it doesn't come without some sort of undercurrents. And then here we have flowers. Now this is happiness. Flowers are usually shared between people. They have the fragrance, but there's a bird right in the middle of that. And birds are messages to me. And it's right at the heart of the spread. So I think for the next month, you are working on your relationships. You are working through some family issues, but there is happiness, and it's finding happiness in amongst all of this. And whatever your happy place is, it's finding that. And flowers to me are often gifted. And in Norman, because I bring all the symbolism into all my readings, the flowers to me and that bouquet card is a very gifted person. So there may be conversations and dealings that can bring you happiness. And it might be through, like the bird, like messages, emails, texts, letters, conversations. Someone that they casually meet brings happiness. But I think still it's coming back to the root of the matter, is working through this and coming to terms with it. This could be almost a handshake that you make with yourself, that you work through some of these issues here that are of value, that give you confidence, that give you security, and you find your happy place here. You find your contentment. All right, so we'll go on to this one. Now this one is the peacock. Beware of great pride. Now this doesn't have to be within you. It can be within others too. But there is a gift in being aware, not being boastful, not being showy. And I don't think, from what I've seen, that Simon has any of these qualities. There's nothing wrong with having pride in what you do and how you relate to other people. But we all have to keep that ego in check. And I think of the peacock as having many eyes. And I think Simon has a lot of potential. He sees potential in others. And I think he takes pride in helping others, and that is part of his gift that he brings to the world. This could go so many different ways, but I'm going to pause for a second and bring the camera so that everybody can see the cards better. So we're getting to the top of the tree now. We've had the bases, we've had the grounding of the growth, and now we're looking at what makes in the next month things flourish for you. Where do you shine? And so we'll look at this one over here. The vine. Seek out information that will help you. Now, to me, in the reading, this is looking to the past. So there may be something that you may have to return to, something that you were working on or wanted to work on. And when I think of the vine, it needs a bit of structure sometimes to hold it up if it doesn't have all the tendrils to attach to whatever it needs to. And it just says, seek out the information that will help you. So maybe if we return to this one, the peacock, beware of great pride. You know, there's nothing, how do I word this? Sometimes we have to ask for help to create, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help. And some people, though, are so proud, it makes them, it challenges them to ask for help. But I think this is the card that's pointing to something in the past that you might need help with. And that can even go back to dealing with that sorrow, with the loss within the family. And it could be quite fortunate to meet someone who is a gift. And if you ask, maybe it's meeting other people. How did they get through these things? Maybe it's sharing stories with other people. But it can also be just you trying to move forward with something that you worked on from the past. And I also think of through the grapevine, and that is conversations. So open up conversations, maybe be a little bit vulnerable with people that you trust on how to move forward. All right, now we'll look at the next one here, the kangaroo. So hang on a second here. Unsettled times need to plan ahead. So in the next month, there may be things that you're working on, and there may be fluctuations on trying to get the plan to come forward. I think Simon's very business oriented in a way that he's proud of his station and everything that he has accomplished. So this one just says, you know, if there's something that you still want to work on or are still trying to bring to fruition, seek out information that will help you during those times of ups and downs. And we all have that. Am I doing it right? Am I not doing it right? Am I providing the best that I can? Am I doing my best? So there's those ups and downs that you take 2 steps forward sometimes and you feel like you're stepping back again. So just, and I also think of the kangaroo where they have that, and it does show it here, the baby in the pouch. So you're protecting something and it's not ready yet to be brought out into the world. It still needs a little bit of nourishing. So seek out someone who can help you with information to nurture what it is that you want to work on in the next month. I'm going to leave this one till the end. And I'm going to go on to this one. Now this one's upside down. And this is a camel. Persevere and you will overcome problems. But being upside down, this is the way the cards sort of talk, that you may need to ask for help. And they also talk about the camel as being, you know, able to trek for miles and not need water. But we all need that to sustain ourselves. And Persevere and you will overcome problems. There may be some issues, as I say, on this that you're working over here with. Maybe it does come together. It just needs that person that you can find to help you bring it together. Don't give up, because this one says persevere, and if it's upside down, there's that idea in the back of our minds sometimes that, I'll just walk away from it for a little bit. But it says persevere this next month. Okay, so we'll go to this one. Discord among friends and family. And I'm going to pause a bit so we get to see a little bit more. Okay, so discord among friends or family. So that sort of talks about this grouping here. That there may be a meeting with a stranger that could be important. And that is this one. I'm sorry you can't see that one. It's below again. Hard to get all the cards in. I wish you were here, Simon, so we could read and talk about this together. But with the mice, even in Lenormand, there's that undercurrent that's working. So, and there may be some sort of dirty dealings going on. Things said that sort of nibble away at you this month. And because it's next to this one, the persevere, don't give up maybe. Because, friends do sometimes challenge us. And you might be wondering with some of them or a certain person what they're up to, where they're coming from. And I think of the mice too as a little bit of an irritant. And with the peacock here, you might just have to use your eyes, like I'm thinking of all the feathers here, watch what's going on, but don't give up. I know it says upside down, persevere, and that would be giving up. But sometimes friends are important, and it's trying to work the issues out around that. Friends or family, little bits of irritation for the month that sort of gnaw away at you. And it's not mouse, it's mice. So there might be a couple of things that are a little bit irritating with family and friends in the next month. And I wonder if it has to do with something that you want to pursue and they're not on board. Some people don't like it when we change, especially change things up because they like the norm. They know you a certain way, but part of growing, like this tree, is to challenge ourselves and see where we get to. Because there's nothing worse than, shoulda, woulda, coulda. And this is saying, seek out information that will help you move forward. It might be unsettling, but try to work through it. Okay, now this one here, club. Now that's right at the top, and that's what I was going to call the guiding light of this spread. And there's so many ways that we could read the cards, and it would take hours. And as I say, I wish Simon was here so I could do this. But this is the club, and it's facing the kangaroo for unsettled times. So if we bring it up here, someone will try to make you do something against your will. Well, you've got a good weapon there. So what can I say? Don't be caught unaware of some irritations for the month with family or friends. You might feel like giving up on them, and that is your choice. That is up to you. Sometimes you can only give so much time to certain people. But seek out information. And this one is talking a little bit more about being defensive to me. If you've got a club, you fight. So someone will try to make you do something against your will. So stand your ground. Be proud of what you've accomplished. And know that you can, fight back. But in not an aggressive way. You're just sort of protecting your territory. You've got something here to nurture. And it's like, how dare you step on that and tell me that I can't do or it wouldn't be of interest. Okay, so now I want to put the ball in the middle, and I'm going to place it right on the peacock here. And I want to pull a couple charms. So that's going to go there. And we're going to pull the charms over. Got a couple. All right. So we're going to zoom in. And where did they land? Well, this is that odd one that I had the other day. And it has a skeleton riding a sort of cross. It's really odd. Because it's tarnished like that, and because it is skeletal, I would say that there's something that you need to bring back to life, and it would transform over the next month. But because the kangaroo carries the baby in the pouch, it's having patience to bring something. And I also think of resurrecting. I wish I could get you a better shot of that. And I was going to polish this little guy up. There you go. So when I think of the death card, to me, that is very transformational. We go through changes, we rebirth. And when you get down to the skeleton, it's getting down to the nitty gritty and starting fresh and new. So I would really like to say, Simon, whatever it was that you've sort of put on the back burner, maybe resurrect it again. Give it some love, give it some nurturing, and be willing to fight for it, especially with that club there. And try not to listen to the nay people, because you just got to find the right avenue and give it the right amount of time and bring that to life. All right, now what else did we get here? I heard a couple fall. Oh, so here we have a little rabbit, like from Alice in Wonderland. And he's got a message and he's got an announcement. And he's right here by this card. So I'd like to see that turn this way. Persevere and you will overcome problems. And it just takes the right moment, the right time, and maybe an information that comes through to you. Because this rabbit, remember he says, I'm late for a very important date. Well, that could be putting things on the back burner and not leaving it too long because you don't want to miss the opportunity. But be open this month for messages. Clearly, this is important because he's bugling it out there. So persevere, just like the camel, going through dry patches, You just gotta hunt for that oasis. Now, this one over here that fell, Simon, it's upside down. So this is the pentacle, and that can be a sign of protection and our spirituality. And there might be some moments during the month that you're questioning certain parts of that. Maybe there's still some growth to be had with that. I think you can probably answer that one better than I. And this is sort of like a protection. So we can be very vulnerable at times when we're trying to bring something to life that other people aren't in agreement with. And it's right down here. Some of your gifts may be not being used. I think of the flowers. Some of those practices may not be bringing you happiness. And it's right between discord among friends and family. Now, I like to let that sit with you, but I'm going to just bring in 3 cards, and I'll try to put them maybe at the top there. That seems to be suitable. And this would be information from your guides, from your guardians. Not that they haven't been chiming in already, but this is sort of like some final info. So, here we go. All right, what have we got? Well, work, achievement, and success. So whatever it is you're working on for this month, nurture it, but like the ant, it might mean asking for help. And don't be too proud to ask for that help. It will help bring you success. Ants love to work as a team. So there might be something that you're working on that another person could actually be important in bringing that to life. And you have a gift, so share it. And this one here, the owl, upside down but twisted in a way. Good advice from a wise person. See? Ah! But that could also be you bringing good advice to this family member over here that's sort of irritating, or a friend. But because it's looking this way, excuse me, I would say that this other person that you choose to share this idea with has some good knowledge. They have wisdom to share. And so do you. So bring that wisdom forward this month into a project. And this one, carriage. Come on, baby. A journey either physical or mental. And I think this month you do have a lot to think about. Carriage to me is movement. Movement of ideas from someone with wisdom, finding help and finding your success by asking for help, nurturing a project, and being able to ask for help. So I'm just going to zoom out again. There is the spread. Oops, there's the cord too. Okay, so if I hold on to the cord, this is tricky. There we go. Well, Simon, oh, that was wrong. This has been so much fun. I'm going to treasure this. I hope that you can share some insight